you're more aware of things, but nothing's changed. This is the same America that it's been. It's no different.
Shannon, what's your reaction to what Draymond said?
He's right. Social media has given us, we get an opportunity to see people. We see people for who they are because they don't have a problem. They'll hold up the white power, the white nationalism sign, Skip. They'll say the N-word. They'll do things and they're not ashamed of it. And what has happened is that the president, for his next 13 days, I think it's 13 days, Skip, his day is the 7th, so 13 days in office, what he did was allow people to be openly and blatantly secure in their feelings and how they voice them.
Didn't I see a Confederate flag yesterday inside the White House?
And the Confederate flag.
in
the Capitol.
Capitol, sorry.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And the Confederate flag represented the Union. We seceded from the United States, so they. But that flag doesn't mean anything, Skip. That's just a symbol of pride. There's a pride. It's the pride thing. Draymond is absolutely right because America is actually who she's been, who she's always been. What she was founded on, and social media and other streams have allowed us to see a lot more of America than we previously saw. Skip, we used to think this was isolated. Man, this only happens in this place or this only happens in that place. And what social media has done is allowed us to see that it happens in every place. And red, blue, it really doesn't matter. It all comes down to people. And it's just sad that people still don't want to acknowledge it, Skip. They still saying, Skip, it's just a few bad apples. That's what we get, Skip. When a police officer does something, it's just a bad apple. It's just a bad apple in Chicago. It's a bad apple in Cleveland. It's a bad apple in this place or that place. It's just a bad apple. It's fruit of the poisonous tree. The tree is bad. So we need to chop down the tree, grow some new trees. And what Draymond is saying is like, look, this is it. This is us. And it's heartbreaking, Skip. I just want to know, why did they enable him so long, and why did it have to get to this for you to see what America really is? Why did Skip? It didn't have to get to this. It really didn't. But they let it. And now Godzilla is so big. He's so big, Skip. Now you're thinking about invoking the 25th Amendment. Really? He didn't learn his lesson. This is why he's always operated, Skip. He's always operated, well, do this and I'll do that. But when you are the president, the most powerful person in the land, you can't run a government like that, Skip. But Draymond is absolutely right.
Yeah. Godzilla must go away on January 20th.
Yes.
And overnight, Godzilla, our president...
How much will he eat before he leaves?
Well, that's a whole nother question. I'm going to knock on wood for all of our sakes. Yeah, because he's still got the power to do some big, bad things.
Yes.
But he did, in a message he sent out late last night, almost overnight, he did say it will be an orderly transition. I think he realized late last night he lost every last ally and supporter that he had in Washington.
Skip, why do you think Lee surrendered? Do you think Lee would have surrendered had he not gotten his tail kicked by the Union Army?
Okay.
That was the only reason he surrendered.
When I saw Draymond's remarks very early this morning, they stopped me in my tracks because I sat back and said, man, I thought we'd made a little bit of progress, but maybe he's right. Has anything really changed? It felt like we made little baby steps, bits and pieces of progress through Black Lives Matter, through that whole period post-George Floyd. It seems like it was a little bit of a watershed moment.
Right.
We talked about it again and again on this show. Is that not just some incremental progress? It felt like it to me, but I don't know. I'm having to go from moment to moment.
It's like, Skip, you threw a pebble in the ocean. It caused a little ripple, but it ain't gonna sink no ship.
Look, does this country still have a racist heritage that got passed down from parents to children through the generations?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
And the institutions in which it was set upon, Skip.
Okay, I got it. Donald Trump received 74.2 million votes.
Yes.
A record for a loser.
Yes.
A lot of people voted.
It was a record before a winner, before Biden got 80+ million.
I got it. So he lost by about 7-ish million.
Yes.
Okay. He's still claiming he won by a landslide. I don't know. At least he could say, I barely won and I got robbed on barely winning, but he's saying he won by a landslide.
Well, Skip, he lost the popular last time to Hillary Clinton. But he won with the same electoral votes that President-elect Biden won by.
Yep.
But somehow he won in a landslide, but Hillary Clinton lost. I'm confused.
Okay. I personally would, and I did not vote for Donald Trump, but I would like to think of those 74.2 million that a lot of them by last night were saying, what was I thinking? I would like to think that. Joe Biden did win. You were a fan of Joe Biden's, obviously. Do you not believe in him going forward, that he'll make it a little better for black people in America going forward?
I'm going to take him at his word that he said this is what he was going to do. Now, within the first 100 days, I need some stimulus checks going to people for $2,000. I need the minimum wage brought to $15 an hour. I need
Weren't these campaign promises?
No. See, my grandpa used to always say, boy, promises are like pie crust, thin and easily broken. I need a commitment. Now, you got both houses. And all you need is a simple majority. Democrat. And guess what? You is a 50-50, but you have the Vice President, Kamala Harris, and she counts the deciding votes, so it'll be 51 to 50.
Okay, and just remember, by last night, Mitch McConnell had turned on Donald Trump, okay? But Lindsey Graham had turned on Donald Trump. And finally, Mike Pence had a chance yesterday to try to make a stand for Donald Trump, and he said, no, I can't. I'm out. And Trump dismissed him, right? That said he betrayed me. Okay, just for the record, everybody ran. So you have some momentum going forward to a new day, correct?
Yes, but Skip, as long as Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell was in power, Skip, do you believe they would have turned and run if they hadn't lost those 2 seats in Georgia? Absolutely not, because they still would have controlled it, but they would have.
Okay, but they lost.
Exactly. So that's why they're doing this. Skip, I can't give you, say, oh, they did the morally and ethical thing. Because
I got it. They just lost.
Yes.
It's your General Lee.
Yes,
that's okay, I got it. But what Donald Trump attempted to do yesterday backfired. It blew up in his face, and it will permanently stain his legacy indelibly forever and ever.
Skip, how about when he lose? After he lost, why not just come out and say, I'm saying, but Skip, what did the Republican Party do? We're going to give him a chance to, his temper tantrum. We're going to let him come to terms with, what do you give? That's not a child. He's not 3, and you taking his toy, and you're going to let him roll around on the ground until he comes to his bed. That's a grown-ass 70-plus-year-old man, and you treat him like a child. Well, he'll come to it, and we just going to give him his space. And all he did was just build up more and more steam. And then he got more and more people on his side. And look what you got. You got yesterday. But it was foreshadowed. Skip, you saw this 4 years in the making. Everybody saw this coming. And they tried to warn Mitch. They tried to warn Lindsey Graham, Tim Scott, Ted Cruz, and all of them. But they wouldn't listen.
Nope. So I'm going to reiterate what happened yesterday. The buildup started on December 19th when our president tweeted, big protest in D.C., January 6th. Be there. Be wild. Be wild? He tweeted this. It went out on Twitter to his billions of followers, right? And they showed up at a big rally at a park just walking distance from the White House.
Yes.
And it was the Save America rally, and President Trump spoke to them for over an hour. He incited them, and then he enabled them by, I think, sending down an order to basically to the guards.
Go down there.
He told them all, march down to the Capitol, and he greased the skids. It was an inside job because I think they were basically instructed, cease and desist.
Right.
Just let them have their way. They sashayed into our Capitol building. They had to break some windows and scale some balconies. We get that. But did they get much resistance?
No.
No.
So I'm trying to skip. The Save America happened on November 4th. When 81 million Americans, that was Save America.
Okay, I got it. But all these people, these Trump zealots, and remember, they're almost all white. There are a few black people sprinkled in, just for the record.
Yeah.
Okay, but they basically walked into the Capitol building. Did they have guns drawn? Did they have machine guns? Did they have bazookas?
No.
They had no weapons visible. They weren't brandishing any weapons, right?
Yeah.
That some had mace, okay? But that was about it. That's all. Now, there were a couple of pipe bombs left inside. But as far as we are attacking the way we see Banana Republic revolts, right?
Yeah.
The overthrow of the palace.
Yeah.
Doesn't it require